Hi, my name is Megan Ginther, and this is my storytelling recording for Info 281 at San Jose State University. These two stories are meant for a story time at a library for preschool children ages 3 to 6. My first story is Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and I'm adapting it from the book by Carolyn and Mark Buhner. Once upon a time, there lived 3 bears. A papa bear, a mama bear, and a wee little baby bear. And they lived in a cottage in the woods. Every day the bears liked to start their day with a bowl of yummy porridge. This morning when they sat down for porridge, Papa Bear took a great big spoonful of his porridge. "Oh, this is much too hot," he exclaimed. Mama Bear tried a medium-sized bite of her porridge. "You're right, this is much too hot," she said. Baby Bear tried a little bite of his porridge. "This is just right," he said. But Papa Bear was busy grabbing his hat and declaring that the family was going to go for a walk and let the porridge cool down. So Papa Bear grabbed his hat, Mama Bear grabbed Baby Bear, and Baby Bear tried to grab his porridge, but he was too slow. Soon the bears were out of sight and down the path on their walk. Out of the woods came skipping a little girl. She had golden curls, so everyone called her Goldilocks. She skipped right up to the door of the house. She knocked on the door. "Is anyone home?" No answer. She knocked again. "Hey, anyone home?" This time the door swung open. Goldilocks carefully walked into the house, and the first thing she saw were 3 chairs, a great big chair, a medium chair, and a wee little chair. Goldilocks loved to jump, so she decided to try out these chairs. She climbed up on the great big chair, and she started to bounce. But this chair had no give. It was too hard. This won't work." She climbed down. She went to the medium-sized chair and climbed up. This chair was so soft Goldilocks sunk down into it. She tried to jump, but she just couldn't get up. "This chair is too soft," she said as she climbed down, and she took a look at the little chair. She climbed up on it and she started to jump. The chair bounced. She jumped and bounced and jumped and bounced and jumped and bounced and jumped until the chair shattered into a million pieces. Said Goldilocks, "all that jumping, and now I'm hungry." She poked her head into the kitchen where she saw the 3 bowls of porridge. She went over to the great big bowl and she took a bite. "This porridge is too hot," Goldilocks exclaimed, throwing down the spoon. She went to the medium-sized bowl. She took a bite. "This porridge is too cold," she exclaimed. And she walked across to the little bowl. She picked up the spoon and took a bite. "This porridge is just right." And she proceeded to eat all of the porridge up. By the time she finished all that porridge, Goldilocks was getting tired. So she decided to see what was upstairs. She crept up the stairs and found 3 beds, a great big bed, a medium bed, and a wee little bed. Goldilocks climbed up on the great big bed, and she tried to get comfy, but that bed was just too hard. Said Goldilocks as she climbed down. "Maybe the next bed'll be better." So she climbed up on the medium-sized bed. She lay down and she sunk into all the pillows and blankets. "Ugh," she said, "this bed, it's just too soft." And she climbed out. She took a look at the little bed. She climbed into it. "This bed is just right," said Goldilocks, as she fell sound asleep. A little while later, the three bears returned from their walk. As they came up to their front door, they were surprised to find it wide open. "Someone has been in our house," said Papa Bear. "Oh my," said Mama Bear. "Maybe it's a wild animal," said Baby Bear. And in they went. Papa Bear looked at his chair. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," said Papa Bear. Mama Bear looked at her chair. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," said Mama Bear. Baby Bear looked at the mess on the floor. "Someone was sitting in my chair and they broke it to pieces. Maybe it was a monster." The bears hurried into the kitchen to see what was there. Papa Bear looked at his porridge. "Someone has been eating my porridge," said Papa Bear. Mama Bear looked at her porridge. "Someone has been eating my porridge," said Mama Bear. Baby Bear looked at his empty bowl. "Someone has been eating my porridge and it's all gone. Maybe it was an alien." The three bears crept up the stairs to see what was up there. Papa Bear looked at his great big bed. "Someone has been laying in my bed." Mama Bear looked at her medium-sized bed. "Someone's been laying in my bed." Baby Bear looked at his bed. "Someone has been laying in my bed and they're still there." The three bears gathered around the bed and looked down at Goldilocks, laying there. "What is it?" said Papa Bear. "Maybe it's a wild animal." "Oh," said Mama Bear, "I don't know. Maybe it's a monster." Baby Bear looked at Goldilocks and said, "Maybe it's an alien." And he reached out and he poked her. With that, Goldilocks woke up. She saw the three bears standing there looking at her, and she screamed, "Ah!" And she jumped out of Baby Bear's bed. She ran to the window and she jumped out. The bears watched her stunned as she ran away into the woods, never to be seen again by them. Mama Bear scratched her head. "What was that? Oh, I think I've lost my appetite." Papa Bear looked at Baby Bear. Baby Bear looked at Papa Bear, and they said, "We haven't." So Mama Bear went down and made a fresh batch of porridge, and the bears sat down and ate their porridge and discussed their exciting morning. The end. My next story is Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes, and I'm adapting it from the book that's by Eric Litwin. One fine day, Pete the Cat woke up. He was so excited to go for a walk today because he had brand new white shoes to wear. Pete put on his white shoes and admired them. They were beautiful. So he headed out the door to go for his walk. And as he walked, he sang a song. "I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes." Oh no! Pete was so busy singing he hadn't noticed the giant pile of strawberries, and he had stepped in it. Pete's white shoes were now red. Pete looked at his shoes and looked up. Did Pete cry? No, goodness, no. Pete just shrugged his shoulders, kept singing his song and walking along. "I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes." Oh no! Once again, Pete was so busy walking and singing, he wasn't paying attention, and he stepped in a gigantic pile of blueberries. Pete's shoes were no longer red. They were now blue. Pete looked at his shoes and he looked up. Did Pete cry? No. Goodness, no. He shrugged his shoulders, kept walking, and singing his song. Only this time he sang, I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. Oh, no! Once again, Pete wasn't watching where he was walking, and he stepped in a humongous mud puddle. Pete's shoes were no longer blue. They were brown. Pete looked at his brown shoes. Did Pete cry? No. Goodness, no. He just shrugged his shoulders, kept on walking and singing his song. Only this time he sang, I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. Oh no, Pete really needs to watch where he's walking, because this time Pete stepped in a gigantic puddle of water, and it had washed away all the brown, all the blue, and all the red. Pete's shoes were white again. He looked down at his white shoes. The only thing was, now his shoes were wet. Did Pete cry? No, goodness, no. He just shrugged his shoulders, kept on walking and singing his song. Only this time he sang, I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, just shrug your shoulders, keep walking along and singing your song, because it's all cool. The end.